I went to Best Buy to look for the best cases that you can find there for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this is a list of the best 5 cases that I was able to find between online and at their store. Now, of course, all links are down in the description below for you guys to check out for yourselves. I'll be sure to include the Best Buy links, but as well as Amazon or the brand links if I have those, and I can try to find you guys the best deal on these cases. Now, this video is not sponsored by any brand. No brand knows that I'm going or making this video. They didn't know I went to Best Buy and picked up all these cases. I did this completely by myself. So just letting you guys know, little disclaimer ahead of time. Let's get started. Now, coming in at number 5, we have the Spigen Core Armor. Now, this is going to be a completely TPU case. You are getting individual cutouts for your lenses, your flash, and your LiDAR. You get this very nice textured material here on the back. Of course, this is going to be a MagSafe case, and this is going to have a pretty good grip going all the way around. So like I said, the back is textured. On the sides, you are getting this nice little kind of like sandpaper style grip. So all the way around, no matter which way you hold your phone, it's going to be nice and comfortable to hold. Now, taking a look at the fit of it, this is kind of why I listed this at number 5. It could be a little bit tighter, but this is a softer TPU style case. However, it's going to still offer you some pretty good drop protection for your phone. But yeah, top, bottom, and around the sides could all use to have a little bit more strength when it comes to that TPU material. Now, going around the sides, on the top you are closed in here. Left hand side, you do have your built-in buttons, action button, volume up and down. Let's listen to how these sound. Pretty decently clicky buttons still, so you shouldn't have any issues when it comes to those. Your bottom, you do have your accurate speaker and microphone cutouts and your USB Type-C port. And of course, we are not doing any cases with no camera control on this list, so you do have a camera control button. And if you guys know Spigen's camera control, we know exactly what it is and how well this thing works. So we'll have no doubts about it. The camera control button is excellent. Now, the price on this case is $39.99. I have tried to find it on Amazon. I wasn't able actually to find it on there, but if I do, I will leave that, like I said, down in the description below. But still, for 40 bucks on this case, I do recommend it. There are definitely better cases out there, and you can find some on this list, but this is the best cases at Best Buy. So just keep that in mind. But all around, it's a pretty nice case, not a pinky destroyer, nice and comfortable to hold. Really no complaints except the fit of it when it comes to there, but of course your corners do fit good on there. And bringing over our MagSafe stand, we're getting good MagSafe on here when it comes to the Spigen cases. You guys know Spigen's MagSafe. If you've seen my videos before, they have very good MagSafe strength, and the Core Armor is no different. So that is why the Spigen Core Armor is number 5 on this list. Now, coming in at number 4, we have the Bellroy Venture case. Now, this one is going to be a TPU case as well. You do get a little MagSafe ring and alignment magnet on here that kind of shows on the back of the case. It is put on there, and it does have a slight little texture. You do get a little plateau leading up to your camera plateau here. That is nice, and it's going to recess the back of the case a little bit of Bellroy branding right there. Now, on the sides of this case, you are getting these little grooves that do help with grip, but it's not really textured. There are no real textures on this case except the back MagSafe magnets here, but I wouldn't say it's a slippery case by any means, especially because of these grooves here. They are nice and comfortable to make the phone easy to hold without slipping. Now, taking a look at the case and the fit, this one is going to be a little bit more of a stiff fit. Around your buttons is a little bit looser. Bottom is really good. Top is pretty good right there. Now, one thing when you do go ahead and move these sides, as you can see, the sides of the phone are a little bit exposed, but you can just kind of push those back in, and they do sit a little bit on top of your phone sides. So when it is nice and pushed in, you don't have any problems, and nobody's sitting here and stretching their case out like that. So it should look like this all the time when you are using it. Now, going around the sides of the case, you are getting the top is closed. Left-hand side, you get that groove right there, like I said, for grip, and aluminum buttons, which the action button on this one is slightly textured as well, so you can easily find which button you're clicking. But let's listen to how these buttons sound. Nice clicky buttons, no complaints when it comes to those. On the bottom, you do have a lanyard loop here, which this case actually does come with a lanyard. This is the only one on this list that does come with a lanyard, so you can attach that. It comes attached to it. I did take it off because I'm not a lanyard person. But you get that lanyard on here, so you'll be just fine if that's something that you're interested in. It is a good quality lanyard. You can put it on, kind of tighten it up if you want to, like that, if you can do it with your one hand, and everything is fine. So I do like that a lanyard is actually included with this case for those who want to use it. Now, the price on this case, before we continue, is $38.49. So not too bad, a little bit cheaper than that Spigen. So you do get a little bit more protection, of course, with this one as well. It does have, let me show you here, it is going to give you, first of all, a microfiber lining on the inside of this case, and you are getting recessed corners on here for that added drop protection a little bit right there. So very nice case, as well as the sides do have these little ridges that also give you a little bit more drop protection, whereas on the Spigen Core Armor, you don't really get anything on that one. Let me show you guys just real quick. It is just a regular TPU material going all the way around the inside, and that's kind of why I didn't show that off too much. But anyways, on the bottom, like I said, that is that lanyard loop, accurate microphone and speaker cutouts, nice open USB-C port. All of these cases are going to have that, so you really shouldn't have any issues when it comes to the fit of your thicker head cables. And on the right-hand side, of course, that same groove. I do like that it's on the opposite side of the camera control button as well. And you do get your power button here. Testing out that camera control button. Let's go ahead and see how that works. Nice button there, no complaints whatsoever, and good responsiveness on it. So you are going to get a good camera control button there. Taking a look at that MagSafe strength, let's go ahead and attach that. And that's some really good MagSafe strength on this case. You can absolutely, almost dropped that. You can absolutely take it, pick it up and down. Everything is just fine. So all your car mounts, your MagSafe mounts, your nightstand chargers, all your accessories will work just fine on this case. So all around, very nice case at that price point. Definitely I can recommend it. And that's why the Bellroy Venture is number 4 on this list. Now coming in at number 3, I'm actually surprised, but the Apple TechWoven case is going to be spot number 3 on this list. Now, of course, this is an Apple official case. So when you put it on, you get your nice little animation. It is going to have this woven fabric on the back made out of polyester, so it's not TPU on the back, but the sides are going to be a TPU material. Now, taking a look at that fit, very nice stiff fit going all the way around, top, bottom. The one thing I'm not a fan about this case is that the sides of your phone, you can see the color through it. So that just makes me a little bit worried that stuff may get in on the inside. But because of how stiff this case is, I shouldn't see that being too much of an issue. I've actually been using the Apple TechWoven case a lot lately. I did do a review on this case already, so if you guys are interested, you can check that out on my channel. I haven't really been regretting my purchase with this case, and it's actually been a really comfortable case to use. The bottom of it is a little bit sharp, so that's why I kind of had to be a little lower on this list. But if you don't hold your phone like this, it does get just a little bit sharp after a little while of using it. It's not too big of a deal though. It's not insanely sharp to where it absolutely destroys your pinky, but it's been a nice case and much better than the fine woven of last year or 2 years ago, whatever that was. That case was absolute garbage. This case, I do have to admit, is actually pretty good. But anyways, going around the sides of it, top, you are closed there. On the left-hand side, you do have your aluminum buttons here, volume up and down, as well as your action button, and the rest is closed. The bottom, you do get dot cutouts that are accurate for your microphone and speaker. You do get lanyard loops on both sides for that Apple strap, but of course, any other lanyard will work. And a decent USB-C port. This is going to be the most narrow on this list, but most of your thicker head cables should fit in there anyways. And then on the right-hand side, you do have your camera control and your power button, which I don't think we have to test this camera control button out. It is an Apple official one. If that doesn't work, then we've got some problems. But perfect camera control button, zero complaints when it comes to that. And let's listen to how these buttons sound on the TechWoven case. Of course, we can expect pretty good clicky buttons. These are aluminum, and Apple did actually update their whole lineup with the buttons, which are much better this year. And taking a look at that MagSafe, we'll go ahead and attach this, and you're getting pretty decent MagSafe on this case, which is kind of funny. Apple doesn't release stronger MagSafe for their cases, but for all your car mounts, your nightstand chargers, good catch there. All your car mounts and nightstand chargers will be just fine when it comes to the TechWoven case. Now, talking about this case, the price on it is $49.99. So it's a little bit on the expensive side, but lately I've actually seen this case go on sale a lot on like Amazon and stuff. So of course, like I said, I will link those down in the description. But if you can wait for any of these cases, they often, all of them go on sale, and they're even better of a deal to pick up than they are right now whenever they go on sale. So just keep an eye out. And of course, all the links in the description do get updated with those new prices anytime you click them, so definitely keep an eye for that. This is a polycarbonate open camera plateau, so no protection for all of this right here, and all of these cases are going to have at least a decent screen and camera lip, so you wouldn't have to worry about setting them down on the screen or on the back of the phone. You'll be just fine on most of your surfaces with any of the cases on this list, so I did just want to mention that. And it is going to come in a ton of different colors that will match all your phones, whichever one you want to get. Apple, of course, always comes out with a bunch of colors, so that's a huge positive with this case. So with all that being said, that is why the Apple TechWoven case is number 3 on this list. Now coming in at number 2, we have the Torras Ostand Q3 Spin. Now a lot of the time lately, people have been gravitating towards the Torras Ostand Q3 Air, which is a good case. It's a little more expensive than this one, but I've only actually seen it at Best Buy for the iPhone 17 Pro. No other phones, not the Air, not the 17, or the Pro Max. So I didn't want to include it on this list, number 1, because I don't have a 17 Pro, but number 2, because I want these cases to be a little bit more readily available. But stay tuned to Best Buy, because if you guys do find the Torras Q3 Air for the 17 Pro Max, that would replace this case on that list. But unfortunately, like I said, it's not available for other phones. So right now we are looking at the Q3 Spin. Now you're getting a polycarbonate back here with TPU sides that do have a slight texture to them. The back is going to be a frosted kind of back where you can sort of see the color through it. And of course we get this stand here. So this is going to be a 360-degree rotating stand. And one thing about Torras cases is their stands work very well. Of course you can set it up like this. You can set it like that. Flip that this way if you're interested in. It goes all the way down flat or up like this. And of course, in any direction that you set it up in, it'll work the same way right there. So you'll have no issues when it comes to this stand here. Now, when it does come to the MagSafe on this case, that is going to be the one issue where if you do use certain accessories like a pop socket, this may end up coming off a little bit because of that ring stand, but it's not the biggest deal because it does still work. And if you take your pop socket, especially if it's a round one and it has the hinge to be the kick out, if you flip the pop socket upside down, that will not be an issue at all when it comes to this. But all around, still good MagSafe. Even when it opens up, it does still hold on to that. You do get that aluminum MagSafe stand. TPU camera ring here, it is completely open. Now going around the sides of this case, you do have the top closed. Left-hand side, these are plastic buttons, but they are standalone. Let's listen to those sound. Nice clicky buttons, no complaints there. On the bottom, you do have your accurate microphone and speaker cutouts and a little lanyard loop there and a pretty open USB Type-C port. And then on the right-hand side, camera control button and your power button, which Torras also has a very good camera control button. There are no complaints when it comes to this one. Talking about the price on this one, we're looking at $33.99. So not a bad price at all when it comes to it. Like I said, if you do find it for cheaper, you can buy it maybe on Amazon or elsewhere. Oftentimes they do have this case go on sale, so that shouldn't be an issue. But going around the case, everything is pretty good. Nice kickstand, good grip in the hand. Everything feels really good. Not a pinky destroyer at all. Very comfortable to hold. So that is why the Torras Ostand Q3 Spin is number 2 on this list. All right, number 1. This case has become the best seller at Best Buy very quickly. It took the whole Best Buy case market by storm. This year it finally came out in Best Buy, where before you used to only be able to get on this company's site. But we are taking a look at the Dbrand Ghost 2.0. Now, I have been using this case, so I did want to peel this case off on camera. That way you guys can listen to this. So let's go ahead and peel it off. There's 1, camera. 2, nice and satisfying. And number 3 is hidden away right here. There we go. We have it all peeled up. Let me throw this away here. And here we go. So you're getting a polycarbonate back on this case, polycarbonate camera rings that are completely closed in, individual cutouts for your lenses, your flash, and your LiDAR. Now, this case, I know it's clear, but they say it'll never yellow. Mine never yellowed when it came to the 16 Pro Max. This year, my other one that I have so far has not had any yellowing. It may, of course, they do say it's scratch resistant, but it is clear polycarbonate. It may eventually scratch. But if this case ever yellows, get in touch with Dbrand. They will immediately replace you with a brand new Dbrand Ghost. But I love this case. This case has been on my iPhone 16 Pro Max when I had it a lot. It's on my Galaxy S25 Ultra a lot. And it has been on my iPhone 17 Pro Max often. So let's go ahead and put this on here, and that way you guys can see. Now, One thing about this case that I do wish was slightly better was a slightly better screen lip. I am using a full coverage tempered glass screen protector, so that is why I wanted to individually show it with this case. You can set this down. This is the rubbing on the case itself, not on the phone, but I would be careful setting it down on any non-flat surfaces because it may end up scratching up your screen, so definitely use a screen protector with them, which, by the way, Dbrand does make the Prism screen protector, which is excellent as well and very easy to install. This is not it, but just letting you guys know about that. Now, the camera protection is going to be much better on this case than it is with the screen protection, so that is one thing I wanted to let you know. Now, going around the sides of this case, it is going to have a very nice little grip going all the way around, so no matter which way you hold it, it'll be good to go. Your buttons are built in, but they are still nice and clicky with relief cutouts there. Let's listen to how those sound. Good buttons all the way around, nice grip going everywhere, and your buttons are slightly different textured between the action and the volume up and down, so you know which ones to click. On the bottom, you have nice open cutouts for your microphone and speaker, and a pretty wide open USB Type-C port. And then on the right-hand side, we have our camera control button here, the same grip, and your power button. Now, taking a look at that camera control, you're not going to really have any issues when it comes to that. This camera control button is pretty good. I could see it a little tiny bit better, but it's going to be about 90% of the way there as all these other ones. I'd like to see it just a tiny bit more sensitive, but that's because this moves around a little bit, if you guys can see there. But in all your everyday real world uses, especially for mine, I don't know about you guys, I don't use the camera control all that often, but even if you do, which I do in testing these cases, in the real world, I don't use it too much, but in videos and testing the cases out for you guys, I do use it a lot to make sure good camera control buttons. With the Dbrand Ghost 2.0, I really haven't had any issues, if I'm being honest, when it comes to that camera control button. But all around, this case is very, very good. Taking a look at that MagSafe, I already know what we're expecting here. It's basically like glue. I mean, you got to give it a really good shake for that to come off. Up and down, left and right, no problems whatsoever. This case has insane MagSafe strength. Now, the price on this case is $49.99. Like I said, I will leave links. Maybe sometimes it does go on sale elsewhere, but it is 100% worth that price tag because this case is excellent. Nice and protective, will never yellow. It may get a little bit scratched up, but you can kind of expect that from any clear case. And just very comfortable to hold. Not a pinky destroyer at all whatsoever. You can hold it like this for hours. It is not sharp at the bottom, and it does have a very good fit, which going around the sides, taking a look there, even around your buttons, it's a little bit, more of a give, but all cases are like that. Camera control, same, but when it comes to the top, the bottom, everywhere else, you are good to go. So all around, the Dbrand Ghost 2.0 is going to be the best case that you can get at Best Buy. Let me know what you guys think about all these cases and this list down in the comments below. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That goes a really long way for me and allows me to make these kind of videos for you. We're this close to hitting 10,000 subs on the channel. I would love to see that happen. So if you guys liked what I had to say, or if you were interested in this video, make sure you get subbed up because I have a ton of other accessories coming for the 17 Pro Max and the iPhone Air. But if you guys want to see my full unboxing of all three iPhone 17 Pro Max colors, I'll leave that video right here. If you guys want to see another case that I have been loving that unfortunately you can't get at Best Buy, but still definitely worth it, I'll leave that video right here.